In this video, we're going to talk about wanting more from life, from others, desiring more from a specific person, and how by, you know, self-sabotage or spiritual bypassing, we actually make it wrong. We shame ourselves. We have this ego that we're not supposed to, in the healing and spiritual communities, that we're not supposed to want anything from anyone, and we're supposed to be, self-sourced, not asking anything from anyone. But there is this problem here, and I want to reveal this in a bit. Just before I do that, my name is Maro, and I'm the founder of Awakening Games, and I've created this game, this method, so that people can awaken to who they are and, become what they're aiming at on the outer world, so they can actually become the frequency of whatever it is they're desiring in their life, so that they can do this with ease, and flow. Because by playing the game, we're more focused on the now than the outcome, and this is why it actually speeds up the process. So this is what Awakening Games was created for in the first place. And now the channel I've created so I can share, different revelations and understandings I've had on my journey, downloadings I have, and if they can be of, helpful for you on your journey, then I'm very happy for that. I've created this course that is free, that is actually, a way for you to test if this method resonates with you, this way of, accessing who you really are at the core by healing your trauma and healing your nervous system and quantum shifting and healing your inner child, because I incorporate all these together. I have an understanding that all, the different lingo, we have a psychological approach. Through psychology, we have the spiritual, then we have the quantum, the more scientific. All these approaches are actually going towards one place so that we can learn how to become love. And this is what I teach through Awakening Games. So I've created this free course, which actually gets you to your worst nightmare. Because when we know how to love us at our worst fears, we become invincible and we become very, very powerful. We ignite our light in our darkness. And this is actually aligning our conscious with our subconscious by going deep into the subconscious. And this is what I teach, or rather I remind people how to do, because ancient wisdom is always within us. It's known from the alchemists, from, the wise, the ancients that have, actually use this wisdom and have educated others with this wisdom, and we're just awakening to it. It's inside of us. We need to be reminded to it. So this is what I do through Awakening Games, and through this specific course, which is a very general one. So basically what it does, it's going to help you start experiencing shifts in the here and now. And then I have actually, at the moment, I'm preparing more courses that are specific, that I will be sharing with you once they're ready. So if you are interested in seeing how you can shift reality from the inside out, how you can actually use your ego for spiritual awakening and ascension, how you can master your negative thoughts, emotions, feelings, anything negative, and making it your superpower, then please comment below and ask for the course, because it's so important for me to know that you're wanting it, and I could send you the link. Or else you can still find it in my description box if you press on the link. So back to our topic. When we, the reason why we spiritually bypass and we have this ego about not asking for more from others, especially, in the physical, we have this pride, which is not allowing for us to be vulnerable and authentic. When we want more from others and we make it okay to be needy and want, the more we allow to feel this, whatever this makes us feel, maybe it makes us feel uncomfortable, maybe it makes us feel vulnerable in an insecure way, because there's a vulnerability that we expose, how we feel. And the moment we share it, it makes us feel powerful. And there's the vulnerability that basically we're kind of stuck in a place where we need to be saved. That second part, of course, the first vulnerability, as I described in the first example, is what we need to be doing. But the second one is what we avoid doing, and this is why we get stuck there. So the vulnerability that makes us feel like a victim of our own reality is something that no one wants to feel at any cost. So we create these narratives, these stories that, I never ask, or I'm never in a one-sided relationship, or I'm never gonna ask for money from others, or never ask to be saved. And because we put this there, we're actually, those thoughts, we're actually blocking ever feeling like a victim of our own reality. But guess what? It's not just because we're not allowing to feel it that we aren't actually stuck there. That's what's oxymoron in this, situation. It's that we are not even aware that we're in the victim position. And so when we have the courage to finally feel these very, very painful, uncomfortable emotions and feelings and those thoughts of unworthiness, that actually tell us that we're not worthy and people are not giving us anything around us. They're not really giving us what we're wanting and needing. When we have the guts to actually feel through this, that's when we can actually become very aware of how we have done that to ourselves. But if we don't go through the outer world first, we're trying to bypass it. When we're in the spiritual journey and we're actually wanting always to bypass, because we're always wanting to be right. There's the spiritual narcissism, because if I'm, emotionally and spiritually very evolved, I'll never hurt. There's another way, another lie to avoid pain, because our survival mechanism is so powerful and ingrained that we need to repeatedly want to see ourselves and be okay to grow, to not know, and welcome pain. Because if we're welcoming pain by not resisting it or finding value through feeling pain or being stuck to it, because those people that are nagging or complaining or always needing to be saved are not people that have accepted their pain. They're actually resisting their pain and they're wanting others to remove them from it. And then there's the other people on the other side that say they don't need anyone, they never complain, but they have this inner hidden neediness, like the ones that are projecting on the other side outwardly. So the ones that are always complaining, they're needy, like, save me, I want to be helped, or I want you to help me with this, they're always asking from other people, have this, belief within them that, they don't want to feel the pain of, and fear that there's nobody there to help them and it's only themselves. So because they're avoiding this, they prefer to be, attaching to other people. And then there's the other side that says, oh no, I don't want to ever be like that person. So they're judging the other person, right? Those people are judging them as being too independent, too cold, and too, avoidant and too selfish, right? Because they don't know how to be selfish enough and be okay with it. And then the other part, these are the dismissive and fearful avoidance and anxious attachments, this attachment theory now. And then there's the other people that on the other side that have the attachment of being avoidant, that actually judge the other, which the other person is a part of ourselves inside. So when the avoidants judge the needy person as being too needy, and they're not going to find and feel through the neediness within, so they're disowning this part of themselves. And then the anxious attachment on the other side, when they are judging them as being selfish, they're not seeing their own selfishness and being okay with not being that good and being, actually a lot more selfish than the person they're judging. What I mean by more is because whatever we see in others, it's our projections. Never the other person. We don't know who the other person is until we remove our projections. And this needs a very high level of humbleness. So just to come back to our topic, if it's okay to be totally needy on others, actually, if it's okay to not be okay to be totally needy on, of others, and want to be given to, want to be pampered, want to be showered with gifts and everything, if it's not okay, then guess what? Then there's this part of ourselves within that we're shaming, and we will never allow for this to happen with love. Because what we're really avoiding is the emotions and feelings of unworthiness, shame, and being selfish, being judged, But if it's okay, the more we allow to feel those uncomfortable emotions of shame and, abandonment and rejection, the more we feel, the more we heal, the more we actually shed off those layers and layers of defensiveness from our heart walls. And the more we open our magnetic field to pull in, because we've become that version, to actually pull in what we've become. So basically to meet with a version of ourselves that has the experience we're wanting. So when we start being okay with being needy and allowing to feel through those emotions and feelings and look at those thoughts that are explaining, this narrative, to feel that we're alone. No one is really giving us what we're wanting. When we allow to be fully selfish, fully needy, fully pathetic, and unloved, because that's the narrative, right? And to feel through those feelings and emotions, which are very painful. And of course, we could do them layers, layer upon layer. Shedding off layer after layer. The more we allow to feel through those emotions, feelings, and feel through the judgment of others seeing us this way, which is also very painful, and maybe even more. So not only we see ourselves this way and we feel this way, but now there's other people seeing us this way. And we bring presence in the moment of our deepest fears and pain. We shed all these layers of protection from ourselves and others. We become more and more the version of ourselves that is generous. Because the moment we make it okay to be needy with others, we make it okay to be needy with ourselves. But first, we need to shed through those layers of shame, those layers of self-judgment or judgment towards others, the unworthiness. Again and again, we need to go and find that part of ourselves that is saying, no, I don't want to ever need other people, and I'm too good, and I'm too spiritual, and I'm too, self-sourced. When we become humble and we say, hey, I do need others do need me, and it's safe to be needed and need others. And if I don't feel safe, I could also feel through it. And, I balance those energies, again, and I check in with myself. It's okay to want to receive everything from everyone. And when you make that okay and you feel through that, you will see that you are allowing that to be given from you as well. As long as I said, you allow to feel through those negative thoughts, emotions, and feelings to the core of why, do I feel ashamed or afraid to be needy, to be, dependent on others, to ask from others. Where is that narrative saying that I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm a weight? Go there, feel through them by being present in the moment, again and again and again. And I promise you, people will level up or just flow out of your reality. That's it. They either meet you where you are, or they make way. They make room for the people that need and are wanting to shower you with love, abundance, gifts, anything they can. See you in the next video.